We look forward to this bill being signed into law and making sure that we're prepared to welcome nearly 1 million new voters to the polls in the coming election. Thank you. And now, I want to introduce our co-lead, Susan Stambler, Executive Director of United Neighborhood Houses. Join me in welcoming.
Good morning. I feel like we've been doing this for a couple of years now. We have. I found a memo in my files from 2004. Yes. It was a pretty simple memo. It talked about the need to make sure that our neighbors, the people who we live next door to, the people who send their children to school, the people who work here, who pay taxes, should have a voice, should have a right, and should have a vision for what our community looks like. It's pretty simple. Often we're dealing with very complex situations. This is pretty easy. We should make sure that we enfranchise the voices of our neighbors so that we stand next to each other because we all share our community together. In a city like New York, this is a no-brainer. So I have to say, I put the memo back in the file, the piece of paper from 2004, and I hope that today we're here with a very simple message, a very simple request. Let's make this happen. So thank you, Council Member Adonis for getting this done. For all these years that we've been pushing, we needed a champion to actually get it over the finish line. So thank you for all the hard work and the letters. We've been out here in the sun, in the rain, in the cold, just asking for that very basic, simple right. This is our time, a time we want to hear our community voices, and a time that we need to say thank you to the champions. So here we are today. We hope to see a successful vote at the City Council. We will. We will see a successful vote.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
And thank you to Council Members Rodriguez. Thank you to Council Member Menchaca for making sure not only that they stand tall, that we continue fighting, but their colleagues do this. So we're going to see this get done today. We're going to make sure Mayor de Blasio signs it. And then we're going to do what we've been doing for more than 100 years, is making sure people register to vote, get inspired to vote, are educated to vote, and get to the ballot box. So thank you very much, and let's keep on fighting.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
You know the beauty, some people ask a question, how were you able to do it? And I can say by building a coalition. And this coalition was composed by people from different socio-economic and ethnic backgrounds. And that's what we have seen today. And yes, we can announce that we have supermajority. We have 34 vote committees. As we are getting ready to go into the building very soon, we will have the vote that we need that give us the veto power. Even though we're happy that the mayor has said that he will not veto, we are so that he will sign it before the end of this year as a big gift to the hardworking individual in this holiday. But this coalition, composed by individuals that come from different continents, from Asia, people who are Anglo, Jewish, Latino, also needed a voice from the black community, Afro-American community, who when they are speaking loud and clear, they say we can do it. I want to call someone that yesterday worked with us shoulder to shoulder to be sure that we work with that message, that we were able to get the 34 vote that we need today. Let me give you Berta Lewis, the Executive Director of the
Black Institute. Listen, everybody. We will win today.
Yes, we can.
This is a majority-minority city. This is soon to be a majority, new majority country. Let's stop giving lip service to it. I don't give a damn what they're doing in Washington, D.C. They're not trying to fix this broken immigration system. They're not trying to fix voting rights. I don't give a damn what they're doing in Albany. Oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. We love the immigrants. We love our essential workers. Lip service. We're sick of it, we're tired of it, and we're not going to take it anymore.
Yes, we can! Yes, we
So
can!
instead of saying woe is us, instead of saying what we cannot do, we say, si se puede! Instead of saying, well, there's so many disparate communities. You know, what about the African Americans? I'm African American. My ancestors fought for the right to vote ever since this country was founded. If you want to know why we stand here today, read the 1619 Project. Maybe you'll understand. This is critical race theory. Woo! Yes, right wingers. We will not be divided. We are all one family. We might have come on different, ships and got dropped off at different islands, but we're all here now. So we decided we were going to expand the right to vote. We were going to enfranchise people. We were going to bring black and white and Asian and everyone together. People told us it could not be done. People told us that legislators, his colleagues, didn't have the courage to do it. And we said, we called BS on that. So make no mistake, New York City, we will not be divided. We have decided what we are going to do in order to enfranchise folks to vote. This will change New York City politics fundamentally. So anyone that says no, that is because they fear us. But you know what? They should be scared. And you know why they should be scared? Because this is what democracy looks like.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
By the way, I've been here at John also. I want to recognize Chop Moham, who he has told me right now talking about in 2001. They were the one who started working with him. So thank you. So here we have a list of individuals that work with him, Brian, Ron, Charles, and others. So thank you. And that's what society is all about. We are standing to show the men and women that have been fighting so hard for so many decades before us. Now we're doing the job. Other generation also will continue something. So, muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Now let me give you two other elected officials who are going to be saying a few words. Now they are the chairman of the Immigration Coalition. Yesterday he picked up the phone together with others such as Antonio Reynoso, Kalina Rivera, Danny Drone, Margaret Chen. Be sure that they engage in conversation with the other colleagues that has questions on this bill. Let me give you the chairman of the Immigration Coalition, Immigration Committee, Carlos Menchaca, followed by the public advocate that has been since day one on this bill also, Jemani Williams. Carlos.
My name is Carlos Menchaca, and I'm here with my incredible brother, Idanis Rodriguez, who has been fighting along so many of you, the Immigration Coalition, the Black Institute, CPC, Únete. All of you have been such a beautiful reminder of what democracy looks like. And as the chair of the Immigration Committee, I just want to say that I have been learning across these last 8 years of how powerful it is when we ask people to participate, when they demand it, and then we say yes. I have been elected and became the first Mexican American elected in the state's history to build our power with immigrants. For the last 8 years in Sunset Park and in Red Hook, we have seen the power of people coming out of the shadows and saying yes to democracy. Participatory budgeting was one of the most successful programs in the entire city that happened in a highly immigrant populated community like mine. When Trump was elected, our community came together and hosted legal sessions inside of homes so that people felt comfortable not going to the public library but going into their neighbors' homes. We have been practicing democracy. When Industry City came out and said, we want to support you, it was the immigrant community that built a strong pillar of resistance to ensure that all of us understood their impact, and we defeated Industry City. When we said no to the ICE raids, and ICE Watch was erupted in Sunset Park and across the entire country, or entire city, it was the immigrant community that came out. And now they're asking for a vote. And I want to tell you the story of a young girl who said, I want to vote in participatory budgeting, but I'm not old enough. She forced us as a committee to decrease the age for voting as a middle school student. And then 4th and 5th graders came out and said, we want to vote too. This is the kind of contagious nature of democracy that when they say we want to vote, we say yes. We say hell yes, and that we don't hesitate. And today, we know that there was some hesitation. And yesterday the calls did happen. And they were hard calls, and there is fear, even with people who are with us. But let's get it done. And let's continue to build this democracy together, because that coalition will defeat the industry cities of tomorrow, will defeat the Trumps of tomorrow, they'll defeat all the hate, because white supremacy is the thing that we're all trying to fight. That is why I'm here, that's why I'll stay here, and I'll be with you to the end.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
Let me give you another public advocate, Jamani Williams. Everybody say restore.
Restore!
Our rights.
Our rights!
Restore.
Restore!
Our rights.
Our rights!
Restore.
Restore!
Our rights.
Our rights!
It's important that we're clear that what's going to happen here, hopefully, is simply a restoration of rights that were taken away from people in the country. We have a tendency to pretend like the sky is going to crack open when we're doing things that have to do with encouraging people to participate in democracy. And very often, that's furthest from the truth. Non-citizen residents have been voting in this country longer than they haven't. I need people to understand that. They've been voting in elections longer than they haven't been in this country. We're simply restoring it. Not too long ago, non-citizens were allowed to vote in school board elections. This is not brand new to us. This is just something that we're trying to catch up that should have been happening a long time ago. I have the privilege of being born into this country and being a citizen. My parents had the privilege of being naturalized. They came in as students. A lot of people probably know that. Stay over a little longer. They go through the process and they have now the privilege of being able to vote. What I've found about privilege is that when you have it, you're good at challenging other people's privilege, but you want to keep your own. And that is something that we're going to have to learn to get past. This country has always been about preventing people to vote. We have to be honest about it. The furthest you have been, the furthest that you were from being a rich white male, you were prevented from voting. So it's not a surprise at the backlash that's coming. Whether you were rich, if you weren't rich enough, you shouldn't vote. If you weren't a woman, you shouldn't vote. If you weren't black, you shouldn't vote. It has always been people pushing past that and saying, no, we need people to participate. And all we're saying now is that people who live in New York City, who New York City would crumble without, who deal with the impact of all of the decisions and policies that lawmakers decide on their day-to-day basis, should have the right to participate. in voting. That's it. We've done it before. We should do it again. And we all have to check our privileges. I've had to do it myself as a cisgendered straight male who's a citizen and has a right to vote. Every step of the way I'm challenged to check my own privilege. And if we can do that every step of the way, we'll have a better society and more inclusive society. Let's just do it one more time. And it is so simple, I gotta tell you. But the simplest thing when it has to do with justice and equity, oh, it causes an uproar. It causes an uproar. But I'm proud to stand here with all of these representatives, with all of these community groups to do what's right, to help lead the nation. Where everyone else is trying to prevent people to vote, we're encouraging it. Once again, we're not the first, we should have been. There's other cities who already done it. We try to pretend we're progressive, but we're really not. But at least we're going to join those other cities. Udonis, we came in here causing a lot of trouble. I'm proud to see you going out and doing the same thing.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
Oh, wait, sorry.
Yes,
one more thing I have to say. Very often when we talk about immigration, we talk about our Latino brothers and sisters, and that's good enough. I'm proud of that. But I got to remind you, there's a lot of black immigration out there. Let's not forget our Africans, our Caribbean, Haitian. My parents came from Grenada. There's a lot of black immigrants out there. Let's not forget them in this story. Let's not forget our Asian immigrants. Let's not forget the whole story and think it's just about one. Let's get it done.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
I want to call now to say a few words to all the elected officials. One, a great friend, great leader, Carlene, and then the other person who was the last one to sign in because he was being the last one being serving as a council member Kaman. So let me call Council Member Carlene Kaman also to come and say a few words.
Okay, all right. That's all right. We're here to carry a very important legacy. We are standing on the shoulders of some incredible giants, pioneers, advocates, people who have given everything to make a change in this city. And so I hope we can make all of those people proud today when we cast our vote to make this happen. So I'm Carlina Rivera. I proudly represent District 2. I'm a proud Puerto Rican woman, raised by a single mother in subsidized housing in Loisaida. A neighborhood with a history all of its own. A proud history with immigrants coming through decade after decade, making changes and contributing to make this city as great as it is. And I know we have a lot of work to do, but let's just take this moment to celebrate this one thing. I'm a fighter, I always have been. And so when I met Idani, naturally, we partnered up and we decided that this was going to be a priority and we would stop at absolutely nothing to see it through. So we live in a democracy, but nearly 1 million New Yorkers with a green card or work authorization are not going to be able to vote in our local election. Well, that changes today. 1 million New Yorkers. So throughout the country's history, I think we all know entire populations have been intentionally and systemically barred from accessing the ballot, from accessing power, and with a simple message that power is not for the privileged few, it is for the many. It should be accessed by everyone, and we're going to change that up. So with voting rights under attack nationwide, we in New York City, we have a responsibility to stand up in defense of voting as a right. It's not just privilege for those in positions of power, and I am tired of the privileged, powerful few trying to run this city and make decisions right here in City Hall when we were elected by the people. So with that, I would say I am proud. I will be casting my vote aye.
Yes!
And I stand with all of you who have gotten us this far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Si se puede?
Si se puede!
Si se puede!
Si se puede!
And by the way, some people ask a question about what will happen with a new council member. It's better to do it now.
Yeah.
Because a new class will even have a larger number of progressive council members who will take the fight. Let me give you a council member.
Good morning. I'm going to be brief because I'm the new kid on the block. My name is Tiffany Kalan. I'm the council member for the 22nd district. And I am incredibly proud to be standing here with y'all as a representative from the most diverse borough in the country, from the land of immigrants. This has been said over and over again, so again, I will be brief, but we're talking about our neighbors, our loved ones, the people who have literally kept us fed, kept this city running. And when we point out the very obvious inequities in our city, the widening schism of an infrastructure that simply does not work for working class folks, particularly for lower income, black and brown immigrant folks, the only way we do that is forcing our voices into the halls of power, making sure that those very people who are most affected by the issues in our city have the ability to elect people that are going to be accountable to them, to create the solutions and infrastructure necessary to allow all of us to have the opportunity to not just survive, but thrive. So I was incredibly proud last week, on my first day in office, to have this bill be the first that I signed on to. Understanding that if nothing else, this was the most important thing we could do for our democracy, the most important thing we could do in this moment for our city. So thank you.
The best now is still to come when you hear those who will be positive impact with this bill. But to do this part, let me give you back to the Immigration Coalition in Morocco.
Thank you. This fight would be meaningless if we had not had our champions who are about to come up and share their stories. So when they do come up, don't stop recording. Keep the cameras going. And to our folks in the back, give them as much love as you can. First up, join me in welcoming Melissa John, who is the founder of Represent We, an essential worker, a green card holder, and a public school teacher. She's been waiting for over 20 years for this day to come. Welcome her to the mic.
Unseen Coolbear Palma. That is my high school motto. Not without the dust, the palm. That means without hard work, can't have anything. So before I get into anything else, thank you. Thank you to every individual, thank you to every organization, thank you to every politician, thank you to everyone standing behind me, because without their collective efforts, I can unequivocally say today, I'm finally being seen, I'm finally being heard as part of the political process. I'll share a personal story, and to continue on what Jumani was saying, I've lived in this country since I have been 19 years old, so I've never voted in an election in my life. I, like his parents, I came here initially as a college student, attended undergraduate school, attended graduate school, and here I am as a classroom teacher. I stand in front of my students constantly in the Bronx, my Puerto Rican students, my Dominican students, my West African students, and I say it's important for everyone to honor your stories. It's important for everyone to honor your voices. It's important to always be seen and to always be heard. It's important to be represented. And here it is finally, their school teacher can say, we have that opportunity. Representation, it's a noun. But today, and for today only, it's a verb. It's about action. And in those doors, City Council is going to do the right thing. They're going to take the right action and vote yes in support of Intro 1867.
From England. Thank you, Melissa. Next up, join me in welcoming Angel Salazar, a DACA recipient and advocate with La Colmena, who spent nearly his whole life in New York City. The passage of the bill will allow him to participate in our democracy just like many of their friends. Go for it.
So my name is Angel, and I'm a DACA recipient, a student, an essential worker, and a proud Staten Island. Throughout the entire pandemic, I was on the front line supporting the community with basics like financial relief and providing food. However, I did not limit myself to that. I also took part in the census and vaccine efforts. While many were forced to stay home, I continue to support my community with the work that I do in La Colmena. Staten Island is the only place I call home. It's where I grew up, where I work, and where I go to school. I'm here today to tell everyone, especially those who are opposed to someone like me, to be allowed to vote, that my vote and my voice matters. I won't stop fighting until all undocumented individuals are able to live in this city with respect and dignity. I want to be able to tell my mother that her voice counts, and through me, she will be able to make a difference in municipal elections. I am ready to change the political landscape for the better of my community. Like we always say, yes we can.
Yes we can. Yes we can. Yes we can.
All right, so now I'll say it in Spanish. Mi nombre es Ángel y soy un beneficiario de DACA, un estudiante y un trabajador licenciado y un orgulloso estudiante. Durante la pandemia estuve en primera línea apoyando la comunidad con conceptos básicos como alivio financiero y distribuyendo alimentos. Pero no me limité a eso. También participé en el census y ayudé con las vacunas. En esos tiempos difíciles, muchos se vieron obligados a quedarse en casa, pero yo seguí apoyando mi comunidad a través de mi trabajo en La Colmena. Staten Island es el único lugar al que llamo hogar. Es donde crecí, donde trabajo y donde voy a la escuela. Estoy aquí para decirles a todos, especialmente a aquellos que se ponen de alguien como yo, poder votar. Mi voto, mi voz son importantes. No dejaré de luchar hasta que todas las personas indocumentadas puedan vivir en esta ciudad con dignidad y respeto. Quiero poder decirle a mi madre que su voz cuenta y a través de mí poder cambiar la diferencia en las elecciones municipales. Estoy listo para cambiar el panorama político para bien de mi comunidad. Como siempre decimos, ¡sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Gracias.
Thank you, Angel. Next up, join me in welcoming Abdoulaye Sisse, who's a green card holder and advocate with CARE New York. Woo!
Thank you. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Bonjour. Thank you all for coming out today. My name is Abdoulaye Sisse, and I'm here with CARE New York. I'm a community organizer out of the Bronx. And my community knows me to be the passionate West African Muslim that advocates for black immigrants and who calls for the unity of the black diaspora. I've been in the US since the age of 6, and for as far back as I can remember, my family always teased me to be the American boy. I'm considered the American in my family. And I am an American. I'm a proud West African, but I am an American. I do contribute to our economy. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a college grad. My son and my wife are US citizens. I was also, before I came to CARE New York, I was also a contact tracer with New York City Test and Trace at the height of the pandemic. Woo! And we contact tracers, we were the boots on the ground mitigating the spread of COVID. We did that. My community knows me to be a loud advocate for civic engagement. Often, I call out to them to get civically engaged. I tell them why it's important. I've literally called. I've done many phone banks and what have you, voters' drives and all of that. But secretly, I haven't been able to vote. Most of them don't know that. Intro 1867 will change that, inshallah. No longer will I be on the sidelines when I take my wife to the voting booth. I'll be able to go in with her and actually vote. That's all I have, really. So, I want to thank Council Member Idanis Rodriguez, NYIC, and all the advocates involved. The public advocate Jumaane Williams said a lot of incredible things about not forgetting black immigrants. We are here. We're definitely in the Bronx. I don't know about the other borough, but we're definitely in the Bronx. So if you need to see us, come to the Bronx. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
Give it up for Abdullah.
Abdullah.
Next up, join me in welcoming Sarah Rodriguez, small business owner and member of the Street Vendor Project.
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Saraí Rodríguez. Soy mexicana. Vengo de un pueblo muy pequeño llamado Tulcingo de Valle, Puebla.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Saraí Rodriguez. I am a Mexican immigrant. I am from a very small town in Mexico called Tulcingo del Valle in the state of Puebla.
Radico aquí durante 20 años. Llegué muy pequeña, con muchos sueños, ilusiones y tengo 4 hijos. Vengo de Queens.
I arrived at a very young age. I've been here for about 20 years, and when I got here, I had many dreams and many aspirations. I am a mother of 4 children.
Soy vendedora ambulante, soy inmigrante y estamos luchando para que tengamos ese voto, para que nuestra voz se haga contada. Pertenezco también al programa de Proyecto Vendedora Ambulante.
Yes, we've been fighting for this, the right to vote for many, many years now, and I'm also part of the Street Vendor Project because I myself am a business owner, a small business owner, and a street vendor.
En este proyecto que estamos de vendedores ambulantes, somos muchos latinos de muchos países, inmigrantes que venimos luchando, de ecuatorianos, mexicanos, colombianos, brasileños, Afganistán, de todo el mundo. Estamos aquí, somos inmigrantes y tenemos el derecho al voto.
In our organization, the Street Vendor Project, we are from many different places, from Latin America, from Afghanistan, from many different countries, and we're always fighting for our rights as street vendors, but now we can fight for our rights as citizens, residents of New York.
Nosotros también aportamos económicamente a este país, luchamos y seguiremos luchando por nuestro voto, que se haga escuchado y que salgamos de la oscuridad.
We contribute a lot to this society and to this city, and we will keep fighting for our rights and for the right to vote. Right now, we earned our rights here in the city, but we will also earn our rights in other government, the federal government.
Le doy gracias a todos los que están, los organizadores, a todos los que están aquí luchando por esta ley, y puedo decir que está cumplida y que sí se pudo y seguiremos luchando con todo.
I want to thank all of the organizations, the coalition that fought for this right to vote here in the city of New York, and we're going to keep on fighting. We won, and we're going to keep on fighting.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Come on. I know that you guys right behind there, I mean, and everyone following, like through social media. been persuaded, right? About this story. This is New York City. We are the best one in the whole nation. We will do it today, and from there we're going to go to San Antonio, to California, to San Francisco, and we're going to be doing it through the whole nation. And let me give you the last two individuals, also that have a story to tell. Eva Santos being a voice, I would like for her to say a few words, and then the last one being Pierina Sanchez, another person ready to say a few words. Come on.
Hi everyone, my name is Eva Santos Veloz. I am a Dominican DACA recipient. Super grateful for Idanis Rodriguez for introducing this legislation that as a Dominican I think is a huge step to show localities nationwide that immigrants deserve their voice to be heard. I think where we're standing right now is like a huge step forward to show like so many localities that immigrants deserve a voice. And I'm a New Yorker like anyone else. I've been here for over 23 years, contributing to a city this is the only city I've known. I have 3 children that are U.S. citizens, also born in the city, and I fear like I was not able to make decisions for their future and their education, and now I can, and now we can, and I am super happy for that. And I feel like si se puede, voy a decirlo en español, soy dominicana, recipiente del DACA, y siento que esto es un gran paso para enseñarle al país que los inmigrantes sí merecemos ser escuchados y que nuestra voz es importante y que hemos contribuido a este estado tanto. Yo soy dominicana y tengo más de 23 años en Nueva York, es la única ciudad que conozco, es la única ciudad que puedo llamar que es mi casa y me siento súper feliz de que ya puedo alzar mi voz y poder decidir por el futuro de mis hijos. Tengo 3 niños ciudadanos americanos al cual sentía mucho miedo de no poder decidir por su futuro educativo, su seguridad, y ahora sí puedo. And now I want everyone to repeat with me. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Se puede, gracias.
I'm a very proud CUNY grad, City College activist, taking classes with Professor Jeffrey, going to lecture on Brad. But also let me give you someone, a Harvard grad, a Princeton grad, whose father used to be an recent immigrant selling orange in the street. Now a new council member, a champion for this, Pierina Sanchez.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
Is this a happy day?
Yes!
Is this a good day? Excelente, ¿no verdad?
Yes, I cannot be more proud of this coalition. I could not be more proud of the New York Immigration Coalition, of the Street Vendor Project, of so many organizations that came together and did it right. They did the research. They found and show and make you feel the stories. And they tell you the truth of what is right and what is the direction that we need to go with in this city. I could not be prouder of an outgoing city council that stood by their word. 36 co-sponsors, led by Councilmember Idanis Rodriguez. Gracias. And thank you, Councilmember Menchaca. Thank you, Councilmember Drum. Thank you, Carlina Rivera. Thank you, Justin Brandon. Thank you, 36 of them. Thank you so much for standing your ground. Thank you, Speaker Johnson, for putting this on the agenda. Thank you, Mayor Bill de Blasio, for having your team negotiate in good faith and get to the finish line, right? Thank you, Mayor-elect Adams, for standing strong and saying that you believe in our city, our vote. I am here as Pierina Sanchez, that's the name they gave me, and I am City Council member elect for District 14 in the Bronx. We are an immigrant community. We are 45% foreign born, and so many of us do not have that right to vote in city, in state, and federal elections. But today, this city council is going to make history because they are going to vote and they're going to change that in the city of New York. So I just want to thank you on behalf of my
immigrant community, on behalf of so many of us who are all shades, right? We come from West Africa, we come from East Africa, we come from Latino America. We're here from all over the world, and in this city, we're standing up at a time where voting rights are under attack, at a time where immigration reform seems to be at a standstill in Washington, D.C. We are standing up here in New York City, and we say, you know what? We got this. We're gonna make it happen here in New York City. We're gonna prove to you that we can, and as New York City goes, so will go many other major cities, and so will go the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Come on, let's hear the music. Karina, quiero que le digas español.
Yo lo iba a hacer, pero creí que hablé mucho. No, yo quiero primeramente comencé con el agradecimiento a todos los concejales, al alcalde Mayor-elect Adams, que se quedó fuertemente en apoyo de esta legislación, al alcalde de Blasio, también al Speaker Johnson, a todas las organizaciones. A todos los que estamos aquí. Nosotros somos una ciudad de inmigrantes y así como va Nueva York, va el país. Nosotros vamos a llegar con este proyecto de ley tan fuertemente con el liderazgo del concejal Idani Rodríguez. Muchísimas gracias, pero lo vamos a hacer. Yo voy a estar en el Consejo Municipal en enero y vamos a asegurar que esta ley sea implementada fuertemente para que así como va Nueva York, vaya al país. Gracias.